It was just after midnight when Earth's deep space station picked up a strange signal. The message was short, cold, and terrifying. Surrender or be destroyed. The galaxy is coming. For a moment, everyone in the control room froze. The signal wasn't fake. It came from a point far beyond the edge of known space. It wasn't a message of peace. It was a warning. The Galactic Union, an alliance of hundreds of alien species, had finally turned its attention to Earth. They didn't want to talk. They wanted control. They believed humans were dangerous, wild, and too bold. And now they were coming to end the threat before it could grow. World leaders met in secret. Panic spread like fire. Billions of people watched the news, waiting for updates. Everyone expected Earth to prepare for a massive war. Factories began running day and night. Soldiers trained. Cities built shelters. But then something strange happened. Instead of building a large space fleet, Earth launched only one ship into deep space. A single vessel. No army. No backup. Its name was Horizon. People were confused. Was this a mistake? A delay? Or something else? The Horizon was not an ordinary ship. It was faster, smarter, and more advanced than anything ever built. It was Earth's secret weapon, created in silence over many years. And it had one pilot, Commander Raylan. He was a legend, a soldier with a sharp mind, and no fear. Some said he once faced 5 enemy ships alone and won. Others said he was more machine than man, but no one could deny this. If anyone could stop a galactic fleet, it was him. As the Horizon left Earth's orbit, Raylan didn't say goodbye. He didn't give a speech. He simply said into the radio, "Message received," sending one back. The whole world held its breath. One man, one ship, against the entire galaxy. Was this courage, or madness? Only time would tell. But far away in the cold silence of space, the alien fleet was already moving. Thousands of ships, armed and ready. They expected a war. What they didn't expect was him. The Horizon moved through space like a ghost, silent, smooth, and fast. No lights flashed on its surface. No sound followed it. Just one dark ship heading into the heart of danger. Commander Raylan stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the stars ahead. The ship's AI, called Shade, spoke in a calm voice. Enemy fleet detected. 3,000 ships, fully armed. Raylan didn't flinch. "Perfect," he said and leaned forward in his chair. "Let's say hello." As the Horizon reached the edge of the enemy space, the stars seemed to disappear. In front of it floated a massive alien fleet, miles wide, like a metal storm. Warships of every kind were ready for battle, each one bigger than the human ship. Alien commanders laughed when they saw only one ship arrive. "Is this a joke?" one of them said. "Humans must be desperate," said another. They expected fear, but Raylan gave them silence. He opened a wide comm channel so every alien ship could hear. Then he spoke just 8 words. "You brought a fleet. I brought a message." No weapons fired. No shields raised. The Horizon simply floated in front of the fleet, waiting. The alien commanders didn't understand. They scanned the ship. It had no visible weapons. No signs of support. No tricks. Still, something felt wrong. Back on Earth, millions watched the live feed. People held their breath. Some prayed. Others cried. Could one ship really stand against a whole fleet? Raylan remained calm. Inside the Horizon, systems were charging. Shade was preparing something. Something no alien had ever seen before. One of the alien leaders finally gave the order, "Destroy the human ship." Hundreds of weapons locked onto the Horizon. But before they could fire, Raylan whispered, "Now." And then everything changed. Alien ships began losing power. Their controls stopped working. One by one, they spun out of formation, colliding with each other. Confusion spread fast. No shots had been fired. No missiles launched. But the fleet was already falling apart. The silence of the Horizon was more terrifying than any weapon. Raylan smiled slightly and said, "Message delivered." The alien fleet was in chaos. What should have been a quick victory for the invaders had turned into a nightmare. Ships that had been lined up in perfect formation were now spinning out of control, crashing into one another. The skies were filled with sparks and fire as the once mighty armada stumbled, unable to stop the destruction happening within their ranks. Commander Raylan sat in the bridge of the Horizon, calm and still, as the chaos unfolded before him. His hands rested lightly on the controls. Shade, the AI, spoke with a cool precision. Enemy fleet is in disarray. Their systems are failing. Continuing disorientation sequence. Raylan's mind raced, but his face betrayed no emotion. He had expected the reaction, but not quite this. The fleet was larger than anything Earth had ever faced, yet with a single command, he had thrown them into complete disarray. What the aliens didn't know was that the Horizon wasn't just any ship. It had been secretly upgraded with technology far beyond human knowledge, using stolen alien tech from past encounters. It wasn't just a ship, it was a weapon powered by a rare and dangerous resource, dark matter. And that was just the beginning. Raylan had activated the Horizon's core weapon, something the galaxy had never seen before. It was capable of manipulating gravity itself. By bending the fabric of space, the Horizon could send ripples of gravity through the ships, destabilizing their hulls and making their weapon systems fail. Entire fleets could be turned against themselves with a single push. The alien commanders were scrambling now. Panic spread through their ranks. The Horizon had turned their own power against them without firing a single shot. "Commander, we are receiving distress signals from several alien ships," Shade reported. "Some are attempting to leave the area." Raylan didn't reply. He wasn't here to fight a war. He was here to send a message. And that message was being heard across the galaxy. For the first time, the alien fleet was afraid. They had expected the humans to fall quickly, an easy victory. Instead, the Horizon had struck them in a way they never anticipated. The humans weren't just fighting for survival. They were fighting to prove a point. And that point was simple. Don't underestimate humanity. Raylan's voice echoed through the ship's comms. "This is Earth. The war is over. You lost." As the fleet continued to fall apart, Raylan took a moment to reflect. What had seemed impossible just hours ago, one human ship against an entire galaxy, was now becoming a reality. The aliens, for the first time, weren't asking for war. They were asking for a way out. The Horizon drifted silently through the wreckage of the alien fleet. It wasn't just the ships that were destroyed. It was their reputation. Across the galaxy, the message spread faster than light, carried by military channels, civilian broadcasts, and whispers in the darkest corners of space. The impossible had happened. Humanity had done the unthinkable. The alien empire, once the uncontested rulers of the galaxy, had been brought to its knees by one human ship. In the wake of the battle, commanders of the alien fleet were scrambling to save what little remained of their force. But there was no organizing now. The Horizon had dismantled their communication systems. Their ships were in pieces, floating aimlessly, some crashing into one another like toys in the hands of a child. Panic and confusion ruled. Raylan Cross, however, remained calm. He didn't celebrate. He didn't gloat. His eyes were focused on the stars ahead. The battle was over, but the war had just begun. The Horizon continued its journey through the wreckage, broadcasting a single message to the galaxy at large. "Earth will not bow. You've been warned." Meanwhile, back on Earth, the news was chaos. The entire world watched the events unfold live. News channels played the same broadcast over and over again. Raylan's cold, confident words echoing in the hearts and minds of every citizen. "Earth will not bow." Billions across alien worlds were already tuning in. The once untouchable alien empire had fallen not through strength, but through fear. Fear that Earth, for the first time, had shown its true power. On distant planets, those who once saw humans as weak or insignificant were now questioning everything. Alien societies, once confident in their dominance, were now afraid of the humans they had so easily underestimated. Earth was no longer just a backwater planet in the galaxy. It was a force to be reckoned with. But not all the aliens feared humanity. Some saw the victory as an opportunity. Rebels, outcasts, and those oppressed under the alien rule began to whisper. Could this be the start of something bigger? Could the humans lead them into a new era, freed from tyranny? Raylan's message had done more than just send a signal. It had sparked a movement, one that spread like wildfire through the galaxy. And still, the Horizon moved forward, alone, silent, but not unnoticed. The aliens didn't know it yet, but the galaxy had already begun to change. And no one would forget the name of the ship that had shattered their empire. The Horizon had shown the galaxy one simple truth. Fear was no longer theirs to wield. The Horizon continued its journey through the stars, leaving behind the shattered remnants of the alien fleet. Commander Raylan Cross stood on the bridge gazing out at the endless void of space. His mission was clear, but he knew the battle was only the beginning. The galaxy had heard Earth's message loud and clear. The once untouchable alien empire had been broken not through force, but through the one thing they never expected from humanity: fearlessness. Raylan wasn't just fighting for Earth. He was fighting for something larger, a galaxy that had underestimated humans for too long. Weeks passed, and as the horizon moved further into deep space, the message of its victory spread across the stars. Alien leaders met in secret. Some demanded retaliation, others suggested peace. But no one could ignore what had happened. The galaxy was no longer the same. On countless worlds, whispers began to echo. Alien citizens who had once looked down on humanity now looked up to it. There were stories of alien children playing human in the streets, pretending to be like Commander Cross, holding a single ship against the galaxy's might. Human culture, once seen as primitive and weak, was now admired. But fear had taken root in the hearts of those who had once been rulers of the stars. The name of the Horizon had become a legend, a name whispered in dark corners of the galaxy. The Horizon, the ship that brought down an empire, the ship that turned the tables, the ship that changed everything. Some alien empires began to crumble. Rebellions ignited. Former allies of the alien empire started to question their loyalties. The message had spread far beyond the battlefields. It was a message of hope to those who had suffered, a message of terror to those who had once controlled the galaxy. And still, the Horizon moved through space, its AI keeping silent watch over its captain. Raylan didn't seek fame or glory. He didn't want to be a hero. He had only one goal: to ensure humanity would never be enslaved again, and to make sure no other empire would dare threaten Earth again. Back on Earth, leaders declared a new era of peace. But they knew the truth. The galaxy might be quiet for now, but it wouldn't last forever. Humanity had shown its power, and when the next enemy came, they would know one thing for sure: the Horizon was out there, waiting, and its message was clear: don't mess with Earth. The galaxy might forget the Horizon in time, but the fear it left behind would never fade.